20 memorable quotes from film The Night of the Iguana, 1964. The Night of the Iguana, 1964. Directed by John Huston, is a masterful adaptation of Tennessee Williams' play, blending themes of passion, redemption, and human vulnerability. The film stars Richard Burton as Reverend T. Lawrence Shannon, a defrocked clergyman spiraling into despair. Seeking solace in a secluded Mexican hotel, he encounters the fiery Maxine Falk, Ava Gardner, and the serene Hannah Jelks. Deborah Kerr, each embodying different aspects of humanity's struggle for connection and meaning. Set against the backdrop of lush tropical landscapes, the story captures Shannon's internal conflict as he battles guilt, temptation, and the search for grace. The title metaphor, the iguana tied to a rope, symbolizes his entrapment and longing for freedom. With compelling performances and poetic dialogue, the film delves into existential questions about love, forgiveness, and the human condition. It remains a profound cinematic experience, blending raw emotion with breathtaking visuals. James Bond, Roger Moore, and quote, the Chinese have a saying, before setting out on revenge, you first dig 2 graves, unquote, unquote. That's detente, comrade. You don't have it. I don't have it. Unquote, unquote. I'm sorry, I'm not in the habit of giving answers to questions that I haven't first been asked. Unquote, unquote. You left this with Ferrara, I believe, unquote, unquote. If we hurry, we might just catch the end of the will, unquote. Melina Havelock. Carol Bouquet, unquote. I've waited for this moment my entire life, unquote, unquote. The Chinese have a saying, before setting out on revenge, you first dig 2 graves, unquote, unquote. He had no right to take their lives. My parents deserve justice. T. Lawrence Shannon, Miss Fellows is a highly moral person. If she ever recognized the truth about herself, it would destroy her. T. Lawrence Shannon, I thought you were sexless. But you've just become a woman. You know how I know that? Because you, not me, are taking pleasure in my being tied up. All women, whether they want to face it or not, want to see a man in a tied-up situation. They spend their lives trying to get a man into a tied-up situation. Their lives are fulfilled when they can get a man or as many men as they can into a tied-up situation. Hannah Jelks, who wouldn't like to atone for the sins of themselves and the world, if it could be done in a hammock with ropes, instead of on a cross, with nails. On a green hilltop, instead of Golgotha, the place of the skulls? Isn't that a comparatively comfortable, almost voluptuous crucifixion to suffer for the sins of the world, Mr. Shannon? Maxine Falk. What the hell are you doing, Shannon? T. Lawrence Shannon. I just cut loose one of God's creatures at the end of his rope. Maxine Falk. What for? T. Lawrence Shannon. So that one of God's creatures could be free from panic, and scamper home safe and free. A little act of grace, Maxine. T. Lawrence Shannon. I want to explain something to you. A man has got just so much in his emotional bank balance. Mine has run out. It's stone dry. I can't draw a check on it. There's nothing left to draw out. Nono. Oh, courage. Could you not as well select all second place to dwell, not only in that golden tree, but in the frightened heart of me? T. Lawrence Shannon. Nothing could be worse for a girl in your unstable condition, to be mixed up with a man in my unstable condition, because 2 people in unstable conditions are like 2 countries facing each other in unstable conditions. The A. Destructive potential A. could blow the whole world to bits. T. Lawrence Shannon, you can't go on all alone. Think of how it will feel after so many years. Hannah Jelks, I shall know how it feels when I feel it. Maxine Falk, well, she's done a pretty good job of destroying you. T. Lawrence Shannon, Maxine, don't rob me of the credit for my own small accomplishments. Hannah Jelks, I'm a human being. And when one of that unique species builds its nest in the heart of another, the questions of permanence and propagation aren't the first or even the last things to be considered. What is important is that one is never alone.